Hello, artists. I have a book to read to you today about one of my most favorite artists, Vasily Kandinsky. The book I'm going to read to you about him is called The Noisy Paint Box. And you know it is good when it has something very shiny and sparkly on it. Sparkly things usually mean wonderful things. Vasily Kandinsky spent his days learning to be a proper Russian boy. He studied bookfuls of math, science, and history. I don't know about you artists, but he doesn't seem to be having the funnest of times, but who knows, maybe that could change. He practiced piano scales to the marching click of the metronome. He sat stiff and straight at dress-up dinners while the grown-ups talked and talked and talked. I don't know, artist. Sounds pretty boring if you ask me. Bosley's well-off world was perfectly polite until the day his aunt gave him a small paint box. Every proper Russian boy should appreciate art, said Auntie. She showed him the correct way to mix colors on the paint box palette. He mixed red with yellow. Then he mixed red with blue. As the colors changed, he heard a whisper, hiss, a louder hiss, and a still louder hiss. I wonder what he's hearing. What's that sound? He asked. I don't hear a thing, said Auntie. Basely listened as his brush stirred and twisted. The swirling colors trilled like an orchestra, tuning up for a magical symphony. Oh, Mama, Papa, he called. What a noisy paint box. You're so silly, said Papa. Stop being foolish, said Mama. Vasily painted the sound of the colors. He spun a bright lemon circle onto the canvas. He clicked like the highest notes on the keyboard. He brushed a powerful navy rectangle that vibrated deeply like the lowest cello strings. He tossed up a jagged swash of blaring crimson and added cheerful dots of burbling green, clanging orange, and tinkling violet. He painted and painted until the colors went quiet. I don't know about you artists, but it looks like he's having a lot more fun now than he did before. Look what I made, he shouted. Is it a house? Said Auntie. Is it a flower? Asked Mama. What is it supposed to be? Asked Papa. It's music, he said, waltzing his painting around the house. Calm down, said Mama. Do some math, said Papa. Heavens, said Auntie, this boy needs a proper art class. So he went to art class and learned to draw houses and flowers, just like everyone else. As the years passed, Vasily finished school and studied to be a lawyer. He ignored his noisy paint box and lived the way people expected. But he couldn't ignore the sounds of the colors singing to him in the streets of Moscow. The canary-colored mailbox whistling as he rode to work. The scarlet sunset haze ringing above the ancient Kremlin walls. An ivory chorus of snowflakes scattered on the sable collar of his coat. Looks like he really misses it, at least in my opinion, artist. One evening, subtly steamed as starch, he attended the opera. As the orchestra music crashed around him, the colors of the noisy paintbox twirled wildly in his mind. Stomping lines of coral, caroling triangles and pistachio and garnet, thundering arches of aqua and ebony, with shrill points of cobalt and saffron. If you're wondering what some of those kooky names were, my artist, those were colors. Colors sometimes have crazy names. I love it. He heard the colors singing. He saw the music dancing. And Vasily was never quite as proper again. He quit his job teaching law and moved from Moscow to Munich to be a painter. He studied with this famous teacher, then that one. Is it a house? Is it a flower? What's it supposed to be? His teacher asked. He wanted to paint the colors he heard, but maybe the famous teachers knew best. Once again, he put his houses and flowers, animals and people into his paintings. Just like everyone expected, the teachers were happy, but he wasn't. His artist friends understood. They too were tired of painting pretty landscapes and pretty ladies. They thought art needed to change. Art should make you feel, he told them, like music. Exactly, said his friends, but none of them knew how to paint feelings. Until the day he grew brave enough and invited the world to see the paintings roaring from his noisy paintbox. How beautiful that is, my artist. So many colors. Crunching crimson squares, whispering charcoal lines. He named these paintings after the music he loved. With his noisy paintbox, Kandinsky created something entirely new, abstract art. It took a long time for people to understand. Is it a house? Is it a flower? What's it supposed to be? It's my art, he said. How does it make you feel? Here's some of his artwork. Isn't that just full of color? My artist, I hope you loved hearing this book. I hope you loved learning about Kandinsky, the artist, and I hope it inspires you to make some abstract art yourself. Art doesn't have to look like something. It can make you feel a certain way. Like sometimes the color red makes me feel really hungry. So my artist, it's truly up to you. Maybe play some music and just paint or draw lines to the music. What do you hear? How fast is the music? How does it make you feel? Right, my artist? I cannot wait to see what you create, what you make. Ooh, love ya, and talk to you soon.